Hi, I'm Chris Donnelly, Inland Fish Program Manager for Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife. And today we're going to be on Lake Roosevelt doing some winter trout trolling tactics. Hopefully what you'll see today is some of the beautiful trout that are here in Lake Roosevelt, but also learn something about the size, speed, and colors of presentations that can be applied across the state to catch trout during the winter months. Let's go catch some fish and have some fun. Well, here's our first nice troll-caught rainbow trout out of Lake Roosevelt. It's one of about 750,000 net pen fish that we release a year in this reservoir. You can see it's out of post clipped. Beautiful little fish. Looks like we're going to have a good afternoon. We've had a couple on already, and we'll go through some tactics and techniques in a minute. Looks like our winter trout tactics are going to work here. We got a double. Pretty fast fishing here on Lake Roosevelt. Boy, that plug's on fire. Nice and easy. So we're out here today on Lake Roosevelt to talk about winter trout trolling techniques and some of the things that we can do. And what we're talking about today is universal across the state of Washington, whether it's Western Washington or Eastern Washington. And it's really a water temperature and time of year thing. And it's December here at Lake Roosevelt. We'll kind of walk through what we do here to catch rainbow trout. And I think you'll see as we go along how this can transfer to other bodies of water. So a lot of what we're using today are flies. This is a Perch Fly, very popular in Lake Roosevelt. You can use small plugs from this size up to 5 inches long, depending on preference of the fish. And then we're using what they call an apex or a trout killer, so another wobbling lure. And then of course just the old standby rooster tail or any kind of small spinner can work out here. And then to be attractive to fish, we're putting some kind of a flash in front of it. And this is not unique to Roosevelt, but something to think about when you're out trolling in the winter. Typically in most of our lakes, the densities of fish that you're fishing over are much smaller, or I guess less dense, than they are in the springtime post-stocking. So you need to be attractive to these fish from some distance so they can see your offering and get out to do that. Now, really the critical thing about wintertime is speed of your troll, the color of the presentation you're going to have, the depth that you're going to present it, and sort of the attractiveness of the lure. We've gone over that. You can see sort of the array of options that you have. You can also use small spinners like wedding rings. It's really about finding the right color that you're going to present out there. And then in the winter time, it might get a little bit easier to catch fish, because remember, water temperatures are so cold that the bulk of the fish are going to occur right on the surface. So it's not one of these big guessing games where you have to decide, is the fish at 10 feet or 25 or 30. For the most part, the fish all across the state of Washington are going to be in the top 10 feet of the water column, and most of them will probably be in the top 5 feet. So if you look out to the side of the boat, one of the things that we're doing is we're using planer boards. And those planer boards are really intended to run our gear out away from the boat where we're spooking fish in that top 10 feet of the water column, and allowing us to have the ability to catch those fish in shallow water where they've been spooked from the boat out to the gear. It's a reasonably simple system. I'm not necessarily saying that you have to have planer boards, but you do need to keep in mind that when you're out in the winter fishing fish in very shallow water, and this is true right through opening day, the fourth Saturday in April, if the fish are shallow, you need to run your gear a long ways behind the boat, because you are spooking those fish as you go over the top of them with the boat. You need to give those fish a chance to come back to where they were when you spooked them, and then your gear will go through them. So here we might run lines as far as 300 feet behind the boat, and on average probably no less than 150 feet. So a very important tactic. Now, how are we controlling depth out here? We're doing that with a very simple keel sinker and monofilament. You can use downriggers and fish them 5 to 10 feet, but we like to run our lines 150 feet, 250 feet behind the boat with the keel sinker that takes it down, probably more than 5 or 7 feet on average. And then of course you can see we have chop today, which means we can fish a little bit shallower because the fish are right on the surface, the water's not still and calm where they're very spooky. This whole system works very well for that. So when we put these things together, it's a reasonably simple combination. Now we just cover water and we hope we find some fish out here. I'm step here. Another nice Lake Roosevelt rainbow trout caught on a Rapala. Trolled at about 2 miles an hour. We're having great luck out here today. Behind me is Lake Roosevelt, the largest reservoir in the state of Washington that was created by the construction of Grand Coulee Dam. This reservoir is full of beautiful rainbow trout, and those fish came from a cooperative project operated by the Department of Fish and Wildlife, the Colville tribe, and the Spokane tribe as mitigation for hydropower impacts through the construction of Grand Coulee Dam. Each year, 750,000 net pen reared rainbows are released into this reservoir available for recreational and subsistence harvest. And we encourage anyone and everyone in the area and from out of the area to come and enjoy one of the greatest experiences you can have in recreational fishing in the state of Washington. Well, another nice rainbow here. Caught on a Rapala again. There's a really nice Lake Roosevelt net pen rainbow. There you can see out of post clipped, nice net pen fish. Caught on an orange apex lure, trolled at about 1.8 miles an hour. You can see it's snowing out here and it's cold, but these fish will certainly bite well. Thanks for watching this today. I hope you got a clue on some winter trout fishing aspects. I guess you can see rain, shine, or snow. There's a lot of opportunity in the state of Washington to go out and catch trout. But just remember with these winter trout fishing techniques, it's really about speed and color and depth. Fairly simple, stay shallow, stay a little slower than you would in the springtime, and maybe use some brighter colors that those fish can see, and if that doesn't work, go back to more natural presentations. So thanks for watching, and make sure that you get out and have a great time fishing Washington.